So Damon, tell us about Halo. Obviously, as I say, next year we're celebrating 20 years. How did it come about?
So there were, where we live, you end up entering into the community of people who have children with learning disabilities, and you get to know other people. And there were 5 families who decided, well, what do we do when they leave higher education or education and so forth? What is there? There's nothing. There's a cliff, basically. That's what you do. You fall off the cliff. So it started investigating what are the options. We started down the road of doing what a lot of people think of in terms of the way to care for people with learning disabilities. You find a nice, safe haven for them, and they all live together in a community and so forth. And then I met a guy down in Devon. I got asked to go to a learning disabilities convention for people. It was an self-advocacy convention down in Newquay. And I'm a bit of a surfer, so I thought, that's good, I can go down and have a bit of a surf. And anyway, I met a guy called Gary, who he'd grown up inside, his family ran a home for people with learning disabilities. He'd grown up in that environment. And then finally his parents died, and then he tried to run it himself. He couldn't run it himself, so it had to be closed down. And then the state took over. He went off, lived in a house. And this is the story he told me when I met him. And he said that then he went back to see his friends, people he'd grown up with, his community. And they said, Gary, where have you been? Where have you been? You know? And they're still living in an institution, in effect. And he said, well, I've got a house. I bought a house. And the way he described it is, he said, well, can we live in a house? And he said, well, yeah, I suppose, you know, why not? So he asked himself the question, why is it not possible for people to have independent lives, even if they have learning disabilities? So his goal, and through meeting Gary, we found out that creating an institution is not the right way. And so the whole concept is to use the community that we live in, that people live in, like Guildford, has amenities, has shops, it has a high street, has sports centres, has all these things. And that is the way that you need to help people with learning disabilities access those things, those activities that bring people together and make them part of the community. So that was the route. We abandoned the idea of buying a farm and building it, and God knows how much money that would have cost. And we went down this road of providing activities that build confidence and independence in people with learning disabilities. And that was, as you said, next year is 20 years ago, so it seems incredible, but it provides these meaningful activities, and it brings people together, and also it especially benefits people who find it difficult to build relationships. They feel confident in the group they're in, and then they expand. You can see them growing and getting out of just being with mum and dad in their house all the time. So it's been a very good success in that regard. And so we're glad we took the right decision there.